Welcome back to another video on web development with Flask. My name is Ronak Vyas and this video is a collaboration with Programming Knowledge. In the previous video, we talked about how to set up our hello world and the project file structure. So we created an init.py, which is how we set up our Flask instance. We also talked about blueprints, which we can use to handle our files in a Flask directory. We also talked about how to render HTML files using templates uh, in Flask. So today we'll actually build more of our application, and we'll also look into templates and Bootstrap and how we can use this both to build some components of our website. So let's get started. Before we start our next step, I just want to let you know that I have made a static folder. So a static folder in Flask contains all the static files, so static CSS files, images, fonts, etc. of your project. So make sure you have the static folder ready with images and some CSS which we'll be using in a while. These CSS files only have the fonts and etc. Nothing important for Flask. We'll be using these in our late HTML code as well. So let's get started. So now when we want to build our push-ups logger application, what we notice is that it has a navigation bar which has the workouts, signing in, logging in, the profile page, etc. And what we notice is that the navigation bar is common for all the HTML pages. So it is common for the profile page, the home page, to add a new workout, to log in, sign up. The navigation bar stays the same because, well, we have to navigate through it or using it. So now, instead of writing the navigation code for every single HTML file again and again, what we can do is use something called as template inheritance in Flask, where we can set up a base template with some HTML code and use that code again and again, or inherit that template for other HTML files. So a perfect example is what we are going to do here by using a navigation bar. The code for the navigation bar is going to be constant across all the HTML files. So we'll just set up a base template using that HTML code. So let's see how that works. So let's create a base.html file inside templates. And this is some code I have already written for having the navigation bar using Bootstrap. So you can go ahead to this website. The link will be in the description to download the Bootstrap CDNs and include these links in your header tag. And for the navigation bar, I have referred to the navbar documentation of Bootstrap and modified this particular navigation example and use that in my code. So we'll be making some changes into this right now. How to connect our static files to this. That is one important thing which we need to talk about. And also what these block head and block content mean. So now we have this base.html file and we have to connect this with other HTML files. But before that, let's actually make this a complete HTML complete file where we have these empty tags. So now we want to link our static files with our HTML files, and a good way to do would be just to say static and go to our files. But in Flask, we can do it in a different way, in a much more Pythonic way, which people prefer and developers prefer, where we'll be using something called as URL for. So URL for is a function in Flask which you can use to generate dynamic URLs. So for something like for some static files, it is not required, but it is preferred to do so. But when we have dynamic URLs, for example, when we create a new workout and we want to see that new workout or edit that new workout, the workout will have its own ID. And when we have to generate that during runtime, when a user is using it, we use the URL for's capability. But just to keep the entire code consistent and not use different tactics and different features, we'll be going for URL for every single endpoint which we need. So let's import URL for first in both the auth and main because they will be using it. And now we can actually use Python code inside our HTML pages by using something called Jinja templating. And this is how it looks like. So any statement under a curly brace and a percentage sign will be a control statement. For example, for loops, if statements, blocks, etc., etc. And anything between these two will be a statement, for example, a variable name, initializing a variable name, or printing something. So we can use these to actually talk to our HTML file using Python, or use Python into our HTML files. So now that we have a URL for function, let's actually use that into our sign up, login, etc. pages via base. So now let's give it two statements because it is a statement, and URL for. Now, how do we link it to the static files? So the syntax is that we are going to go to static, and then we're going to do file name, and the file name is this. So it is a favicon. So favicon is inside images. So we're going to go inside images slash muscle.ico, and that is how we have a URL for. We have the static folder first. URL for automatically looks inside your directory structure, looks for static, goes inside images, and takes up muscle ICO. Use the same concept for linking our CSS files. So same static, but instead of this, we have our CSS file, which is beauty.css, if I'm right. Yes. And let's see if we have to use it somewhere else as well. So now we want our pushups logger tag should always point, when we click on it, to point to the main or an index page, right? So the index page is here, and the name of the function is index, and it's the main's blueprint. It comes under the main blueprint. So this is how the syntax will look like for this. You don't have a file name here, so we remove the file name completely. We just have a URL, and let me just go back. I think I made a mistake here. Oh yes, we have a comma and a comma, because the file name is a parameter for the URL for function. And here, instead of static, we have main.index. So this is how we actually refer to the pushups logger index page using main. So it's very easy to now keep track of all the routes. So we have a main route, a main blueprint inside which we have index. Similarly, we want to go to all workouts. So all workouts is also under the main page, which we'll be adding in a bit. And it will be having all workout, but let's just give it index for now because we haven't made this yet. Then we have the account, which is going to be the profile. So main.profile, and we go to sign up. So sign up comes under auth now. So instead of main, we have auth.signup. And similarly for login, we have the same thing. So we have URL for auth.login. So as you can see now, using blueprints, we are able to really we're able to write the code very easily and very intuitively, where we can clearly understand that this is under the main blueprint, under the main features, and these come under the auth features. So now that we have written the base.html, let's see how template inheritance works and how we can actually add this to our other pages and just inherit from the base. Let's go to index first. This is how the syntax looks like. We have a control statement, and it extends from what? Extends from base.html. So now that we have added extends from base, everything from base should be under this. But I would like to change some CSS files here because I need to use this later. So let's see how we can actually override our head to add some CSS files. So now we use the block control statement when we have to override something from our inherited template. So here I have a block head for the entire head tag, and let's again use that tag here. So we have block head, and now we want to inherit everything from the head tag except the CSS file, or actually override the CSS file. So we have to inherit everything, right? So we just write that we are inheriting everything from the main base, so inheriting from super. Then we add our own CSS file. So I'll be linking here, and we want the extended beauty here. So let me just go back and copy the code for adding the link. Go here, we have our static and the file name is extended .css. When you have more than one file, it is recommended that you have a folder, a CSS folder, and then use that folder. But since I have only two files, I'll be using, I won't have a folder for them. And now that we have finished it, we have to end our block. So we end block for our head. So in this way, we were able to override the extended the beauty CSS file into our index by extended, and also extend the base. Now, I want this on all my files. So let me just copy this into login, profile, and sign up, so that all of these have the same functionality. And yeah, so we're good to go now. And let's see how this looks like. So go to Flask, run. Make sure we are inside. Oh, sorry about that. So we are in the video 3. So when I go into video 3 templates, this is all my files here. So go back, write export Flask app and the name of your folder, which is PL video 3 templates for me. It can be just the push-ups logger name for you guys, and just type Flask run. And the server is on now. Let's see what we have here. And as you can see, we have our nav bar ready. And when we go to all workouts, the same thing. When we go to sign up, we go to sign up here, and the nav bar is still the same for login as well and for profile. So now our nav bar is done, and we can go ahead and start filling our application with other content. So let's go ahead and do index now. So now in the base, when you scroll all down after the nav bar, we have a block content where we can actually add our content here. So I want to add content here in between. So I'll be using the same tags for my index page. Sorry about that. So now go ahead like this, and this is going to be down all the way, and we add our content here. So first, I need a hello. So welcome to the page. So a hello. After that, I'll have an image of a person doing push-ups to make sure that they know it's for doing push-ups. So again, we have the source, which is going to come inside here, and the file name is going to be images slash pushup.png. So this is what the image looks like, pushup.png, and the alt is going to be, or the text is going to be just push up guy, and I want a height around, let's say 200 px. That should be good. Now that we have this, let's just write some content on about our page. So what can we write as a content? So welcome to your push-ups logger. Then let's give it a line break. And what can we write here? This website implements basic CRUD functionality and user authentication features using Flask. Simple welcome. Let's see if this has already changed. And yeah, so we just welcome to the push-ups logger. We have the image ready, and we have a simple description. So this was it for this video. It is a lot to take in, so make sure you go through the code and make sure that you are good with your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript basics to understand, because I did not write the HTML code from scratch. We talked about URL for and how we can use that to create dynamic links. We talked about template inheritance and how we can use the block control statements with these special ways to actually use Python in our HTML code. And we use that to build our nav bar and also the front page of our website. In the next video, we'll talk about how to create forms for sign up and login, and how we can use that to then build our user authentication feature first. Thank you.